There is in the Holy Quran a phrase. Ibn Arabi used to call them hijrs, a hijr. He said every wali has a hijr, something from Quran, a short phrase or sentence even, doesn't even have to be a whole ayat, that they support or supported with that. One of those ayat, azima or karima, فاستعذ بالله يا أيها الذين آمنوا آمنوا. O you who believe, believe. آمنوا آمنوا بالله ورسوله, etc., etc. O you who believe, whatever your belief level is, try to improve to the next level. To the next level. It's difficult because when our faith is balanced on the level of the mind, mind can't go beyond its limits. When it comes to something he doesn't understand or something he doesn't know, it stops. Can't go there. Can't accept. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He wants us to improve, to go more. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. Sayyidina Walina wal Akhir. One of the, to believe the mind can't ordinarily accept. The example being Prophets Isra and Miraj. He was taken from his bed in Mecca Mukarramah by Jibreel, and the angels opened his chest and washed his heart, a silver bowl of ice. And then they brought Barak, the flying mount, a flying horse, how you want to visualize Barak. And they went in the blink of an eye, wherever that Barak put its eyes on the horizon, quickly they were there. They went to Jerusalem, Quds Sharif, Masjid al-Aqsa, the farthest mosque. And according to the hadith, Prophet ﷺ, he met there with the souls of 124,000 previous prophets. And they prayed together. He was Imam for them. And then he began his ascension. He went with Jibreel to look at what Allah created from the heavens and hells and levels of reaching to Sidratul Muntaha. Is the limit that mind can understand. He asked Jibreel, what's after this? We didn't reach anything yet. What we saw? He said, I don't know, Ya Rasul. Allahu Alam Rasul, but not to be formal here. Allah knows, I never came this far before. If I go farther, I'll burn up. My understanding can't go there. The Prophet was called that night and he went to divine presence. Kalb Hosseini Adna, it's described in the Quran. An endless metaphor. Well, Adna means endlessly nearer and nearer and nearer and nearer. Without, not near like a place, like a distance, is a distance of two boat's lengths. He went. It was a miraculous uh, journey. When he reached that level of Qaba Qawsaini wa Adna, the voice said, Wasifni, describe me. They said, Qahar, Qahar. It means he reached the level of the names and attributes. The divine essence, you can't, what you can say about it. You can't say anything. Keep quiet, I used to say. He reached that level. Came back, and when he came back to his bed in Mecca after the journey was over, when he got up, they say he knocked over a pitcher of water was on next to the bed or next to where he was sleeping. And when he came back, it didn't spill yet. He set it upright before it had a chance to spill. If you looked in the window of his house, you'd see him get up from the bed, knock over the water, quickly put it up. That's all you was there. And all those things happened. He told the story to his Sahaba of what happened, and they were perplexed. How could this be? And only Sayyidina Abu Bakr said, I believe it and more. His belief power was like that. He didn't wait to say, yes, I have understanding in my mind, it was like this, and it was the geometrical equivalent of it. No. He said, I believe it, as it said. And it's not easy. Not everyone is granted that level of belief. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tests His believers. It's His sunnatullah, His way to test. Oh, you who believe, you will be tested. How does the ayat go? You will be tested. Every believer encounters so many tests for his or her temperament, behavior, attitudes, and thinkings and belief levels. Test, every kind of test. You're tested in yourself, you're tested in the people around you, you're tested with the conditions you're in, you're tested with young age, you're tested with old age, you're tested with everything. And Allah says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, amanu. Improve your belief. Belief is a power. As mind is a power that humans have been given, we've been given aql, understanding, and mind, mentation, thinking. It's a huge gift. Allah said, who thinks, who thinks deeply on the signs of Allah can reach to the knowledge of His oneness. It's a way to get in, but it's not the limit. Belief power is another capability. It's dormant in people. It needs to be raised up. And it's raised up through testing. Through testing. Can't be reached without testing, without carrying difficulties. Difficulties in every aspect of your life. Physical and non-physical testings. And you have to pass all of them. You have to carry. Like a athlete training, for instance, lifting weights, start with, I saw in the athletic shop, 5-pound weights, or 2.5-pound weights for ladies or old people like me, and 5-pound, and 10-pound, then 15-pounders, then 20, then 30, then 40, then 50, and the bar, more and more. The believer has to carry those tests when they come to him or to her. Through the carrying of tests, faith is built up. And that power comes into being, into use. How it should be. How to be with your Shaykh. If you believe, it's just like me. He has, he is smart, I'm smart. He has inspiration, I have inspirations. He does, I do. If you think like that, you can't take benefit. You have to believe there's another levels at play, at work. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. But I don't see it. I can't see it. I'm seeing ordinary, as they said to prophets, you're just a man like ourselves. Why to believe in a prophet? You're a person. You're coming saying there's Allah, there's Yahweh, there's Father. What the prophet said, how you're saying like that, what Ibrahim said, what they had something, a quality to help people to believe. As much as they applied that belief, they grew in their faith. And they had authority to test their followers, not to be cruel to them, but to help them to improve to the level of oneness, to say everything coming from Allah. I can accept this much, but no more. No, Allah is not there. Allah is out. وَهُوَ مَعَكُمْ أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُمْ. I was with you every time and every place. If the test comes, no, this is Allah is yet there. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. First, second sentence in the Quran, Alif Lam Mim, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. Who believes in the unseen, believe without seeing. It means mind is connected with seeing, proving. Belief is connected with unseen, different power. How it can be, I don't see it. You can't see it. You have to try it. You have to try it to build your faith. And prophets were testing their ummah. And whole prophets were testing their people. And after prophets, awliya, deputies of Prophet ﷺ, were testing their followers with different kinds of tests. They said, oh, my followers, my test is lighter than Prophet's tests. And Prophet's test is lighter than Allah's tests. Allah's tests were difficult to carry. Prophets were tried heavily. Sayyidina Yusuf thrown into the prison for years and years. Then they forgot about him and threw him back in again. All of them, heavy tests. And we have to be patient, saying everything coming from Allah. This is something I don't like. So which thing you're going to be tested? What you like? Yeah, you like this? Yeah. You like this? No. Both is from Allah. There was a Shaykh, Shaykh Nazim told a story. He said there was a Shaykh, he took his Murid into the garden. Many awliya, they had gardens. Shaykh used to garden. He used to send us out into the gardens to work. It's the lowest tools you could have. One guy would have a stick, a shovel with no blade, a pickaxe with no handle. He said one sheikh took his murid into the garden, and they came to the place where cucumbers were growing. And he picked a cucumber. It wasn't ripe yet. It was bitter. He gave to the murid, and the murid ate it. Said, "Alhamdulillah." The sheikh said, "What's the matter with you? That cucumber wasn't ripe yet. It was bitter. Why you say alhamdulillah?" He said, "Oh, my sheikh, you gave me so many sweet things. How am I going to complain and you gave me one time something bitter?" Like that, they were pressing on their egos not to, he gave me that. No one knows. No one knows. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us wherever we are. How many times we were rescued. Some we know about, some we might not know about. I saved you from such and such. I didn't see any such and such. You didn't even know about it. To be thankful. Our grand Sheikh, Shaykh Abdul Haqq, Allah bless him, he was doing a exercise, spiritual exercise. We try to keep everything light. He said, do everything light, keep light clothes, he used to say. You don't complain about the weight of your clothes when you're walking around, but if you're to carry it in heavy suitcase, you look for the first place to get rid of it, get rid of the burden. He was doing a difficult exercise. Sheikh Nazim said, I can give you an exercise, you can't keep it for even 5 minutes. We're always trying to pester him. Give us something, give us something, give us something. He gave something easy. Be happy with that. I can give you something, you can't do it. Grand Sheikh, he was exercising, trying to be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on every breath, 2 times. Alhamdulillah wa shukr. Alhamdulillah. Every inhaling, every exhaling. So be thankful. If you try to do even 1 time, Alhamdulillah wa shukr. After 10 seconds, you can't do it. He was doing it. And through seclusions, Allah raised him. That hamd and shukr on his breath, it improved, it, how can we say, metamorphosed, it grew and developed to be able to recite Quran on every breath, inhaling and exhaling. Not just anything, but to be able to recite the whole Quran on every breath. And not only the whole Quran, there's a Khatam al Quran, Shaykh Hashem was saying, for awliya. It said that you have to believe every letter, harf, in the Holy Quran is Allah's letters, Allah's words. They have meanings. And because they belong to Allah, the meanings are endless. It's not only what they put in the book of meanings, so there's 100 meanings, no, endless meanings. Every letter, at least 12,000 meanings. Who can even think of 12,000 meanings? If you read that letter again, 12,000 new meanings. So every word you're repeating the letters more and more and more. Awliya's Khatam al-Quran, complete Quran with those 12,000 on every letter. It's already beyond imagination. You can't imagine it. And you go back and read again, it's 12,000 new ones. It's Allah's words. We believe it as believers, we believe Quran is Allah's words. Any limit to it? If all the oceans were ink and all the forests were trees to make pens to write the words of the Lord, the oceans would be dry and the forests would be gone before you come to the end of it. We say that, but we don't really, okay, it's 2 meanings. Okay. I'm looking tafsir. What's the meaning? Oh, okay. One thing. endless things. It's a sign that there's a power in human beings more than we're knowing about, but very difficult to reach it. Otherwise, you find awliya on every street corner. Or you can think everyone's awliya and only you're the only one dumbed down. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad. It's so difficult. Therefore, Allah said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, amanu. It's a hijr. It's a rock to stand on. Something to support yourself. I saw Maulana Shaykh. He had to give a speech before a huge audience in Los Angeles when Sheikh Nazim came. And Sheikh Hashem had a big convention there. And the auditorium was like a sports stadium, huge. And there was a stairway to go up to the place where you speak from. I walked with him up the stairway and he was reciting under his breath, Nasru min Allahi wa fatun qareeb. Nasru min Allahi wa fatun qareeb. A hijr. Something to support. There's so many. If you look in Quran, you can find endless hijrs, support places. Places to support yourself. Look and you'll find it. If you don't look, you can't find anything. I couldn't find anything. You look, no. Then how you can find? What do Christians say? Seek and ye shall find. No, seek, you won't find. If you don't plant and plow and take care of the crops, don't complain in the autumn. There's no wheat, there's no rice, there's no corn, there's no apples, there's no beans, there's no sheep, there's no. You did anything? No. We have to take care for our faith. May Allah grant us His support and the support of Prophets and the support of awliya and a strong belief to keep ourselves in front of every testing. The Quran says, I tested the ones who came before you, nations and their prophets. Even the prophets among them were shaking, saying, where is the help of Allah? Allah inna nasrullahi qareeb. The help of Allah is near. It's another hijr. Inna nasrullahi qareeb. The help of Allah is near. Endlessly, anywhere you look, you'll find something to support your faith. So we came back to Abdul Haqq al-Gujdawani. I abandoned him. One of our grand sheikhs in the Golden Chain, Abdul Haqq al-Gujdawani. His tomb is in Bukhara, in what's now Uzbekistan. His sheikh called him one day and said, oh, Abu Khalid, I have a job for you. I see you have a lot of free time. He knows a test is coming. He took him to the place where the Oxus River in Central Asia comes out, the source of the river coming out from a rock. He said, oh, Abu Khalid, you see this water gushing out from the rock? Yes, my sheikh. Every drop of water in this fountain pouring that became one of the huge rivers of Asia, every drop of water is driven by an angel, a malaik. And every angel has to have a name. You can't have angels with no names. They have to have names. Your job as a deputy for Allah, Allah said, I created human beings to be my deputies. First one, Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, and then his descendants. Your job as Allah's deputy is you have to do it. You have to do the work. You have to sit by this rock as the water comes out. You have to give every angel their names, and no two names can be the same. Everyone has to have a different name. And he did it. While he was with people, one spiritual presence might still be there. I don't know. You believe it? I don't believe it. You have believe it, and more than that. It's not too much for Allah. Is it too much for Allah to create someone to give names to angels? No. It's impossible for him? No, nothing's impossible for Al-Muqtadir. Can do whatever with no impediment to it. You can make million Abu Khalid al-Gujdawan. He's giving names to angels. On rocks, on Mars, on Jupiter, on any place. Whatever you imagine, you can do more than that. Ma qadarullah haqqa qadri. You didn't do a good imagination about Allah, a good estimation. You made Allah very small. What's Allah? Oh, he makes the sun come up and he makes the clouds go. He's pretty big. You didn't do a good idea about Allah. All of this is building up towards that. Why to believe those things about awliya? Why to believe those things about prophets? As surrogates for Allah. To believe your belief in Allah stronger. Whatever you believe, make it more. Whatever you believe, make it more. Make it more until you break through. He said the bounds of this that block us in. The bounds of this door, of this dunya. May Allah forgive us. May Allah forgive us and grant us strong faith. To keep our faith in front of testings. To carry us. Oh our Lord, we're so weak. We're in difficulties, Ya Rasul. Pull us out and fail every test unless you catch us. بحرمة Habib, بحرمة Fatih. Ameen. Now we didn't do salawat. So, join your brother.